Us right now, our friend Jason Jones from The Athletic and the Ruler of the Court podcast. Of course, all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Jason, thanks for joining us as always, my man. First, your overall thoughts on where this team is, 48 wins and close to locking up the 3 seed.
Still a surprising season overall, but they've done what they were supposed to do. I mean, they got some good fortune in terms of the way they played, coupled with some injuries around the West. And, they did what they're supposed to do. They won the games, and now it's about figuring out that next step.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, Jason. Now, one of the things that some people, and I've already started to hear this as the playoffs approach, some folks would say the Kings got lucky in terms of their health. And you just mentioned the injuries around the West. Doesn't that factor into almost any, really good, great, special season for any team that they were lucky in a number of ways, including they were pretty healthy?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were lucky with that. I mean, for years, this team was always dogged by injuries here and there, and they've had a great year health-wise. I mean, it helps that Sabonis decided to keep playing with that hand injury because that would have completely derailed them. Mm-hmm. But that's just part of it. I mean, no one's going to feel sorry for Phoenix, LA, no one, the Warriors. No one, you're not going to reseed the playoffs based on, well, if everyone was here, this is what it would have been. So, I mean, yeah, they were definitely lucky. We could all say, well, if the Warriors are healthy all year, if, Minnesota, if all these teams were healthy, where would the Kings be? But, that's a game of ifs. You can't live in a game of ifs.
Jason Jones is with us here on Cattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports on this Thursday. Jason, Fox is shooting 28.5% from 3 over his last 9 games. Does that concern you in any way heading into the playoffs?
It's concerning that you want him shooting better, but I mean, for his career, he's never been Steph.
Right.
He'll have good stretches from 3, but he's about low to mid 30s for his career.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think he's going to wake up tomorrow and become Ray Allen. I think he does enough with everything else to where, would you like it to be around 38, 40? Of course, but I don't think it's a thing where you go, oh my, this is like this is a new thing. We've seen De'Aaron have stretches from 3 where he struggled. And I think it's just, it's going to be, when you are a guy in the low to mid 30s shooting from deep, you're going to have stretches like this. He might have 5 games in a row where he shoots about 45 from 3. We kind of seen him go both ways. So yeah. I wouldn't get alarmed over just these last few games.
And De'Aaron Fox, sort of the head of the spear of a very high-powered, high-speed offense that Mike Brown and his staff are running. A lot of folks think that might get slowed down in the playoffs. How much do you think playoff defenses can slow down this Kings offense?
I think it all depends on the matchup, honestly. It just depends on the matchup they draw in the first round. I think if they draw a team that's big and physical, if they somehow say they were to play the Lakers, I mean, I don't think they can get Minnesota now, but you look at the teams that they could possibly play. I think a team, if the Clippers somehow stumble and end up at 6, that could be a problem, even though they've had success against them. You just don't know what Clipper team you get. Will they be healthy? Will they not be healthy? But I think they've had success against them. I think the Lakers would be a bad matchup for them. And you just wonder, for me, I just wonder about not so much their offense, can they stop anybody? And that's going to be the real thing, is that you look at even since the All-Star, they have a great record since the All-Star break. When they've played those high-level playoff teams, Giannis gets 50. The Celtics smack you. You lose to Minnesota twice. So, I mean, they're going to have to tighten up on that end of the court. I don't know if you can fix that. You probably can't fix it right now, but that's to me their biggest concern, because they're more times than not, they're going to get about 115, 120. But you just can't give up 125, 130 and expect to have success.
No doubt. Jason Jones with us from The Athletic, Ruler of the Court podcast. He's on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Jason, who's the third most important? We know Domas and Fox are 1-2, 2-1, whichever way you want to go. Who's the third most important King during this playoff season?
I think it's going to be Harrison Barnes, because that's going to be the guy you lean on defensively against some of these wing scorers. And will that affect his offense? We don't know. I've always kind of felt like in previous years, by this time of year, Harrison was just tired because he'd been asked to do so much over the course of a season. But I think, the way, having a guy like Keegan, having some more depth has helped him. But I think he's going to be the guy you lean on. If you draw the Warriors, you're going to need him against Clay, or he'll have to probably take some minutes against Jordan Poole. If you're playing the Lakers, you're going to need him against a LeBron. I mean, you play, or he's going to have to be a small ball 4 or 5 guy. Sometimes maybe have to deal with an Anthony Davis. So I just think, I think he's going to be a guy you need to be able to move around defensively and still make some shots. So I think that's going to be and him being one of the guys with a ring on the team. I think people are going to look at Harrison as a guy they expect to be at least a lead by example, quiet leader type down this, going into the postseason.
And that third option has sort of been rotating between HB. Sometimes it'll be Kevin Huerter. And then you got the rookie Keegan Murray. How much do you feel like the Kings can depend on Keegan Murray? More than most rookies, or do you still go into the postseason going, this is a whole new world for him. Let's see how he figures it out.
He's still a rookie, but he's played 80 games. I mean, it's not like, he's a rookie who hasn't played. He's played major minutes all year. So I don't think at this point, I don't look at him as like, oh, he's a rookie. He may have rookie jitters, or maybe the officiating is a little different. We all know this year the NBA officiating has been, all over the place. So maybe that kind of gets him going. Maybe guys get a little more physical than he's used to. But he's a starter. He's played major minutes all year. I don't expect him to, to get there and get rattled all of a sudden and go, oh my God, it's the playoffs. I think, the Kings are who they are. I think they'll be fine. And then, in terms of just kind of their mindset going in, it really is just about who they play and how they match up with them.
Before we let you go, Jason, I know you're a big pro wrestling fan like I am.
Mm-hmm.
How disappointed were you that Vince McMahon was back on Monday night?
Sad.
Right.
We've had all these months of where the programming got interesting again and it was fun. It's like, here we go again. It was just it's almost like he saw everybody having fun and says, you know what? You guys can't do that without me. The most successful WrestleMania of all time without me? Nope. You won't do that without me again. So
it was brutal, man. It was brutal.
Yeah, it's just a disjointed show. I was like, I don't understand what's going on now.
Well, Jason, thanks for the time, man. I appreciate it, as always. And hopefully we do this again soon as the Kings get to the playoffs.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. There goes Jason Jones from The Athletic.